Hey guys, welcome to the channel. How you doing? So today in this video we are going to talk about the death of Rimuru, and also how Yuuki managed to kill Guy Crimson. So, before we start the video, please make sure that you subscribe the channel for more interesting contents. And let me tell you that this story belongs to web novel chapter 125. Now without wasting time, let's start the video. After Luminous revived Hinata, the awakened Chloe and Nicholas was relieved, and were glad enough to shed tears. Then under pressure they had held the conference since morning, and before they realized it, the day had turned to night. Even though they couldn't help but see the Freedom Association as an enemy, they never predicted that Yuuki had consolidated his power in each nation of human alliance. Nevertheless, Hinata's revival wiped out their despair and dispersed the heavy mood. Then Chloe said to Hinata that she is glad because Hinata revived. After Chloe got awakened, she thought that Hinata died. In response, Hinata said that she was surprised too. Hinata never thought that Luminous would come and assist her revival. Luminous in her unique accent said that, "Fyumut, speaking of which, the information network of the church hath expanded as well. 'Tis was for the sake of finding the one who durst steal Chloe from the sacred coffin one under min protection. And, after knowing Chloe's revival, from the information besought, I cameth here." While hearing Luminous words, Chloe was in thought. Her expression was filled with wonder, as if was a serious matter, and when Hinata and Luminous noticed her they got worried and tried to speak to her. Then Chloe said, "I remembered. No. I could remember. Apparently. I saw my demise in the future. I'll be defeated by Yuuki and be killed in the future. It'll become a one-on-one fight with the Demon Lord Guy Crimson. Using that opportunity, Yuuki pierced the two of us together. However, on the verge of death, my astral body that holds the property of the spirit of time was thrown to the past, for the sake of sharing my knowledge and experience. As a result, the past current I received help from Rimuru sensei, and the rampaging was prevented during the spirit fusion. Therefore, this may be my second life? Though I may have actually leapt many times. Perhaps, even if I leaped many times in this world, I think I cannot learn everything. Unfortunately, the hero's astral body that fused with me couldn't remember the knowledge and experiences of the future. Even now, because I can only remember the last life's memories, this may not be the second time. When I compare it with my memory, Hinata still being alive now is a miraculous thing. Actually, Chloe traveled in many timeline, but in every world, she couldn't stop Yuki, as Chloe time traveled so many times. Even with the fragment of the hero's last bit of power that fused with Chloe, she can't convey the information to herself at the time of spirit summoning that was done by Rimuru. The ability that Chloe has unique skill time travel, and using this Chloe could only leap to the past for a certain limit. It's a one-way trip, and the conditions to use this ability are complicated and its use is limited. In the different timeline, Hinata did not got revived and Rimuru was dead. When Rimuru in different timeline parted with Chloe and others in the royal capital, Chloe always clung to Rimuru in tears and detained him in his return to Tempest. As the result, some time was wasted, and Rimuru returned to Tempest with spatial transfer in hurry. Hinata, who was performing an ambush outside of the royal capital, always missed meeting with Rimuru, and the encounter between them never happened. And because of this reason, Yuuki's expectations always came off. Afterwards the detained Rimuru returned to Tempest without encountering Hinata, and succeeded in protecting his subordinates. However, Tempest was defeated by the hostile allied forces of the Western Saint Church and Pharma's Kingdom. The Holy Knight Order led by Hinata boasted an unparalleled strength. No matter how many of Rimuru's monster subordinates were stronger than a high-rank devil, it was impossible for them to surpass that wall of strength. In the end, Rimuru fought Hinata in single combat and was completely annihilated on the spot. This is how Chloe had seen Rimuru's death in every timeline, just because Chloe stopped Rimuru while he was leaving the royal capital after stabilizing those kids. Moreover, in those different timelines, Clayman was also able to become true Demon Lord after getting a large amounts of souls from that war, and with the joint cooperation of Milim and Frey, Clayman's hosting of Walpurgis was approved. Naturally, Ruminas also attended that conference. During that window, Yuuki began his move to steal the sacred coffin. When Hinata returned, by the order of the raging Ruminas, the sacred coffin recovery operation was accomplished in every time's flow. Chloe obtained Hinata's soul here and leaped to the past. But because Hinata's soul was ruined due to the effect of Yuuki's thought control, crystal of curse, only the energy of her ability and her soul passed to Chloe. They didn't share their knowledge and feelings. Chloe gathered power by herself and she would go through a long time travel. Therefore Hinata's ego returning when she awoke as the true hero was unexpected. When Hinata fought the hero, Ruminus was also in the middle of a fight. By the order of Clayman, Milim invaded. Or rather than an order, it was a suggestion. Clayman's cajolery was based on the advice from Yuuki that Rimuru's death was because of Ruminus's incitement. Deceived by those words, Milim raged. With Milim as the opponent, Ruminus was at disadvantage. She would be defeated by Milim after fighting for 3 days and 3 nights. However, Milim can't be said to have been left unscathed. She would be killed in her weakened state by the awakened hero Chloe under Yuuki's order. Even if it became a slightly different future, if Milim knew the truth about Rimuru's death, Chloe couldn't do anything. The fact that Chloe knew was only that Milim killed Ruminus. However, with this result, the fighting force of the Demon Lord's side greatly decreased. Milim, Ruminus, Carrion. These 3 people disappeared. Carrion, who was hiding, protected by Frey, was eventually killed after the disturbance. The East Empire started the invasion. The fight started against the Demon Lords due to Clayman. As a result, the world was wrapped in chaos. In the middle of the chaos, Chloe went to subjugate Guy by order of Yuuki and lost her life. This was the flow of events that Chloe knew until now, so it could be said that the current world's situation is pretty good than the other timeline. In this current world, Hinata and Rimuru survived, Clayman failed to become Demon Lord, and most importantly, things were not going according to Yuki's plan. This time things were a little different. So guys, this was all for today's video. Thanks for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe the channel.